this session, I'm going to share with you a few tips and tricks to allow you to find your way in Octane a bit faster, and maybe also increase your speed when you are working on some of the modules. Now, the first thing I would like to show to you is the Control Q functionality. So once you're in Octane, you can just click on Control Q. That doesn't matter where you are. Just click it, and what will happen, you will see help on this page, open the help center. So these are elements which allow you to go directly to places from wherever you are, basically. So I can go to issues right away. I can go to management requirements, backlog, and so on. So it's really the shortcut, especially if you, for example, do not have a mouse or don't prefer to navigate like that. Let me make an example. For example, go to team backlog, and oops, I'm switching automatically to team backlog, and I can see what's going on in here. This is the Control Q functionality. I'm going to show you now the functionality which is stored under the question mark on the upper right side under keyboard shortcuts. So you have different shortcuts capabilities that are coming as well with Octane, which will allow you to navigate around faster and also find help or different elements. You can see I'm not going to throw all of them, but just see what is available. Some are then only available in specific modules, some are in specific entities, and also some are available everywhere. And I'm going to quickly focus on those. So to get this list that we can just see here, you can just click Alt F2 and it will open up this list. Then there's a possibility to open help. You can of course also go through the question mark on the upper right side, but here if you just click F1, you will get help that is specific to the page where you are. So if I'm now on the front page, of course, on the main first page, it will go to the generic help site of Octane. And if you go on Alt F1, you will open the generic help center page. So let me make an example of that. Let me close it and make an example. So if I now go, for example, into the backlog module where we have all our epic feature, user story, and so on, and tests, of course, and specifically defects, and also you can see BDD specification, I can now use the functionality F1 to go specific to the search of backlog in our ADM Help Center. And you can see here, I'm now right away in the build the product backlog page. So this is specific to this backlog module, and I can go through it and get some information and help here. If I would be in here and I would click Alt F1, it would open the generic ALM Octane Help Center, which is just a basic starting point. And you can just put any search on anything. Let me search on, for example, quality. And then it will lead me to all the results that are in regards to, for example, quality management and so on. I can go there and then I see all the information about quality management. So this is F1 or Alt F1, and as I mentioned, the shortcuts would then be accessible in Octane with Alt F2, and everything can be found in this list. As mentioned, which can be opened with the question mark, keyboard shortcuts, or Alt F2. The next item I would like to show to you is the global search functionality. It is always available to you, and it doesn't matter where you are, it will always be there. So you can be on backlog, you can be on defects, you can be on quality, it doesn't matter, it will always be there. You can also be on the first page and it is always there. Okay, so if I go on here on the search, I see I have a little hamburger menu, and I have then the ability to put in search criteria. So for example, login, and I don't even have to push enter or anything. It will just right away open and group the search results based on entity. So you can see I have defects, I have features, requirements, tasks, tests, user stories with that functionality of login. And I can now say, good, this is what I'm looking for, maybe defects, maybe I'm looking at features, and I can just click and either directly to the element, or I can get a full list. For example, if I click on defects, I get the full defect list here of all the elements which are having an information about login. Okay. Now, this hamburger menu also allows you to search right away in specific areas. So if you are a developer, you most probably will be interested to see maybe potentially features, tasks, maybe user stories. If you are in an agile environment and the epics, potentially also these. So you can select on the elements you are interested and then search again, and you will see in this case it will exclude tests because tests were not activated. So I have defects, features, tasks, user stories. I have no epic with the login. That makes sense. Should not be defined. Login should be not be defined on an epic level. So this is a bit the logic behind the global search. Really very powerful. Will allow you to see everything structured. And then you can go into the details directly, open also a specific list only and scroll through that. Of course, when you go into each of the modules, you will also have the functionality in the modules themselves. And the functionality in the modules is existing here with the same magnifying glass, where you can then also just, for example, search for a specific text on your list, and it will display you accordingly the results. Okay. So let me come to a next to a next filter capability which we have in Octane, and that's in the filter section, especially in regards to IDs. Very often we have seen customers using IDs to filter. So they would have used specific IDs to see test results in their field. So let me make an example. I'll just take one test here and filter with that. And you can see here now I filter with the ID. So I just entered the ID number. And of course, we can also add more than one, and you just need to use the comma for that. And I could, for example, add another number here. I'm just doing a random number. I'm not sure what I will see as a result, but typically, okay, I have now here chosen one manual test and one automated test, which allow me to see both tests, and I could add a bigger list here as well. So as next point, I would like to share with you a functionality which is in the dashboard section of Octane. So if I switch to the dashboard now, you will see I have different widgets here that are used. And important to know is that widgets, how we call them, can be changed in the name very quickly and easily. So I can actually, for example, change the name of this widget by just clicking on the title and then change it as I would like to. So I will just say demo change, and you can see immediately this is changed to what I do. I will remove that because it's not very relevant or very meaningful, but you can see you can change that immediately directly here. What you can also do is edit your widget very quickly. So you can see this filter button. By clicking on this filter, you will see, or by going on this filter button, you will see actually the way on how this is filtered. But you can also directly click on it and make adjustments to your widget. All our standard widgets which are coming out of the box can always also be manipulated and changed. So I think that's a very good thing. So you're not tied to what we propose, but you can do whatever you like. You can also, if you go to the menu, change or duplicate or export information. So really strong and powerful, but more of that in the dashboard module or in the dashboard series videos. So that was about the dashboard. And now I will jump into the next topic, which is more in the quality space. And in the quality space, so if you're not interested too much into testing, you can most probably drop out here. So the rest of the session will be about testing capabilities or test formatting capabilities. And what I have prepared for you is a manual test, which actually I have worked a little bit on the formatting for you to show you what is possible. And what you can see here is that you will not only see the normal steps description or step instructions, but you will see also written in italic, written in bold, in colors, and in colors and bold. So you can see you have some capabilities here also to manage your um, formatting of your test, especially if you use it, only on specific topics where it's really relevant. For example, if a link has changed and you want to really make the message to people, hey, be careful, this is changed information compared to the past. So then I think this is very relevant to mark in red, because people, we know all we are just doing whatever we were used to do, maybe even use a favorite for that, and then it will not work. So a very important capability, and important also how you use it. So how do you do that? How do you format texts? I'm going to show it to you in this case I prepared for you. So you can see here, there is nothing specifically you can see, but once I go and edit, you will see that there is a special formatting that I use. It's just, for example, for the italic ones, I use a star on the beginning and on the end to make it italic. For bold elements, I'm just clicking or just bringing in 2 stars on the beginning and 2 stars at the end to make it bold. For the colors, which I have in the test step 2, and actually in test step 2 I have made it bold and I colored the different words, and you can see it's very simple. I put it into these brackets, special brackets, and then just give at the end of the closing bracket, put in the green, also the color, same I did here with blue, and the same I did then here as well with a link, which then I put as in a red color. All this is quite nice, I would say, to really, as I mentioned, emphasize topics which are very relevant in the manual test execution, especially, and we have seen that's pretty standard, that some testers are going to create the tests and some are going to run them. And if you want to emphasize topics like the link I mentioned here, for example, then this is quite important. Okay, so this is it from this video on formatting and testing, on searching, on shortcuts, and on dashboard tips and tricks. Thanks for listening, and talk to you.